From the heart of the city to the edge of the world, telling stories of black kings and queens.
It's you talk, baby.
Every topic, every voice, like a new kind of pearl. Shining light on truths to make the future swirl. It's real talk, baby. El Frankenstein crew coming through, baby. Real topics, real stuff for the people, baby. Buckle up and let's roll with real talk, baby. It's real talk, baby. It's real talk, baby. It's real talk, baby. And it ain't no me without you, baby. It's you talk, baby. And it ain't no me without you, baby. From the heart of the city to the edge of the world.
It's you talk, baby.
Black kings and queens, but boys that I'm from. Every topic, every
Greater than normal in quantity, size, or intensity. Value. The regard of something held to deserve, the importance, worth, or usefulness of something. And man, an adult human male. So when you put all that together, what do you have? An adult human male that's greater than normal importance or usefulness to what? The group. Basic economic principle states that the value of something is what a market is willing to pay for it. The value is determined by what? The market.
It's real talk, baby.
Yo.
Hi, brother.
Sis, how you doing? What's happening tonight?
I am so good. It feels like forever since I've seen you guys. So
It has definitely been a minute. Great to be back on. And
it does.
look, we just gonna get on right into it because we got a great show lined up. But before we get it
As
popping,
always.
hey, now make sure you ain't out of practice now. You know how we start every show.
Let me warm these hands up.
Warm them up. You know how we start every show.
Yes.
Ain't no us.
Without you, baby.
That's right. Ain't no us without you. Shouts out to everybody in the chat. Let me go ahead on and shout out. Got my wonderful
Hey,
wife.
y'all.
Wifey is checking it out.
Hey, sis.
She said, hey. We got our other friend, Miss Katie, friend to the show.
Hey, Katie.
Miss Katie's actually a diehard Miami Hurricane fan, and she really goes hard.
Really?
She's digging this platform as well. So
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. But we're gonna do what we do, man. Let's get the business out the way. Before we get it popping, I gotta do the business. So let's go ahead on and knock this out. So
let's go.
First order of business of the night, as always, I got to give props and shout outs to the man, the myth, the legend, the creator, and the proprietor of U-Talk and the U-Talk Network himself. He's got a lot of titles, but he's also known as the boss. Our brother.
Absolutely.
Devin Lloyd, aka D. Shouts out to you, bro.
We love you, Dev.
Much love, bro. Much love. Second shout out of the night, as always, has to go to the other man, myth, and the legend. Keeps the technicals and keeps the engineering stuff going to where we just do not fall apart. The microphone, the sound, everything. He keeps everything on lock. Our guy, Brother Marquise, King Judge, KJ Productions in the building. Shouts out to you, Marquise. Thank you for everything that you do, bro.
Thank you, Marquise. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Third shout out of the night. Got to go to the man behind the merchandise, the man with many names, B-Nod, JB, government name, Joseph Bernard. As we always say, Overton Wakefield Bernard, Mr. Living
Overton.
And look, he got another name, but I ain't gonna put it out. That's a little inside thing. You got to talk to D about that. He gonna get mad.
Y'all made another name since I've been gone. Y'all made him another name.
D made another name. That I'm gonna let D tell you about that. D has to tell you about that.
Yo. He gotta be stopped. D is out of control, yo.
Hey, D was doing what D does. So but shouts out to you, Joseph Bernard. Thank you for all you do. all the
Thank you so
merchandise and
much.
everything. You know, can't do it without you, bro. So appreciate you. Fourth shout out of the night, as always, goes to the viewing audience, those watching us live right now, and
Yes.
everybody that will be watching us on the rewatch. Shouts out to everybody on TikTok and Instagram, simul streaming this broadcast as we do what we do right here. Hold up, Katie, shout you out. Katie said you look
It's
good.
shy. Everyone keeps calling me Sky. It's shy.
It's
But thank
shy,
you,
shy.
Katie.
They gonna get it. They gonna get it. They gonna get it. So
It's all right.
Katie showing you some love, but shouts out to
Thank you
everybody
so much,
watching us.
Katie.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And everybody that's on TikTok and Instagram, as we always say, you can come over here live and tap in. We're going to put the link up a little bit later as we get into the topic of the night. But shouts out to everybody watching us live, and shouts out to everybody that's going to watch this rewatch. We thank everybody for supporting this platform and this channel. And final shout out of the night, as always, has to go to my co-host. Thank you. I look, I almost messed up and said Sky. You can tell I got to get back in practice. My bad. But Shy, thank you, sis, for always, rounding out everything. You got all this male testosterone that's going to be all up in the chat, all of that, and you balance it out. So appreciate all that you do for the show.
Thank you.
Awesome.
And I appreciate you too, brother. I definitely do. Thank you so much for holding it down.
Appreciation. No doubt about it. So we got a 2-part series beginning tonight. We kind of had some serious discussion the last couple of shows dealing with a lot of the stuff that's happening. So we decided, what, we're going to lighten it up a little bit, have a little bit of fun, and then still be informative like we always try to do.
Absolutely.
But before we get into it, first and foremost, it's been a minute, sis. How you been? What's been going on with you?
I've been great. My son has graduated officially. He has crossed that stage. So I have no more kids in school. And it's kind of like, oh my God, what do I do? But everything was great. I did an Airbnb in Orlando. All the family stayed there for like 3-4 days. Amanda, when I say the house was dope, it was an 11-bedroom house. It had like a Simpson theme playroom, a movie theater, like a whole PlayStation, Xbox. I mean, when I say dope, had a pool. We had an amazing time. So I just been really spending quality time with my son and my family because he's going to the Air Force. So my baby's gonna be gone. I'm gonna have an empty house with my dog. But besides that, I just been like working hard and enjoying my son at the moment. So that's really good. But I'm so happy. All smiles.
And continue. Oh, everything been cool, and like I said before, continue. Congratulations, enjoy this moment. Enjoy this moment. I think the show that we got tonight is really going to be a good segue for not just people that are trying to figure this thing out, like the grown-ups, but I think for young men like your boys, my son. Well, he's not young, but he's damn near 30, but still, being a younger man, and then like the preteens and the young teenagers, it's going to be a real pertinent topic. So, everything on my end is just repetitive, work and more work. Chilled out yesterday for Father's Day.
Happy belated Father's Day.
Thank you.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Oh, you good. You good.
And happy Father's Day to everybody else that's watching.
All the fellow dads. Shouts out to all the fellow dads up in here. Happy Father's Day to all the fellow dads. So that's all we did.
You do anything?
No, I just chilled out. Because you see, for me, it's been almost 4 years since my dad passed. So Father's Day, you know how it is. You know how it is. Mother's Day, if you lost your mother, you get emotional. You can't help it.
Absolutely. It's like a bittersweet.
Right.
Because it's like you try to enjoy your moment because it's a moment for you to celebrate yourself as well. But it's just hard for you not to think about your own parents. So when I say I get it, I get it.
Yeah. You start recollecting, but it gets easier as time goes on. So I had a little down moment yesterday, but I shook back. I'm good. So
I'm so glad to hear that.
Yep. So
you just never really get over it. It's just you just learn how to deal with it better.
Right.
Yeah. Right. But I'm glad you enjoyed your day. You're a great dad.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome.
Appreciate it. So, but yeah, so we about to get into this. Shouts out to Sherry Lewis. What's going on, Sherry? What's
Hey,
happening?
Sherry.
We about to get into this topic, and it's a two-part series that we're gonna do
Okay.
on high value men and high value
Okay.
women.
Let me get
And
my gloves.
tonight
Hold on. Let me get my gloves.
she putting the boxing gloves on,
I
y'all.
already
She putting the
know.
box.
I
She
already
ready to
know.
come out swinging.
Oh,
You know what though? I think this is going to be a real informative show because I really looked at a lot of stuff and I thought about a lot of stuff on both sides.
yeah.
And
Hmm.
you know, yeah, it's a lot of stuff that's going to be relevant from the adult perspective and
Yeah.
relationship perspective, but I think as people take in the information we're going to put out, I think it's really going to give some segues to really kind of look to try to press upon the young men and the young ladies in a
Yeah.
couple of weeks when we talk about, because it's a lot of positive stuff that you really don't know about high value, you know.
Yeah, and it's about self-development as well. Like I don't want anyone to
Yes,
think like, oh, a person has to be perfect. No one's perfect, but it's all about developing into a better person, a better you. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that's what it's mainly really about, and really
correct.
understanding that. I mean, some young men wasn't raised with a household with the male figure, a positive role male figure. Because I'm a single mom, and I try to raise my kids or my children as young men. Instead of raising kids, I'm raising men. So it's like, am I giving them the right resources to be able to understand what a high value man really is? You understand? So I just think it's all about self development, because some people, or some men and women, they don't really know what that really is. They kind of learn as they go, or they have a bad experience in a situation, or they might be in a relationship, and their significant other might have to tell them like, hey, like as a woman or as a man, you don't do that, or this is what I need from you. You understand? So it's all about self-development, because I think at the age of 40 now, I think I'm still molding into a high value woman. I think I am, but it's still things that I have to work on to be better, and to get to that point myself. And that's just me being completely vulnerable and honest, you know? So,
Right, right. So let me ask you this: since
mhm.
the topic was the headline of the topic was, do women know what a high value man is? I'm gonna go ahead on and throw it to you. What is
Okay.
your idea of what a high value man is?
Well, I had to put this in my notes so I wouldn't forget. But honestly, to start off, I think, how can I say this? I feel like a high value man brings more than what he takes, first and foremost. Does that make
Okay.
sense? And I
Yes.
think it's a combination of traits. I don't think it's just one specific thing. I think number one on my list will be purpose and direction. I feel like a high value man has to have a clear sense of purpose and direction, or like an ambition in life, to be able to set goals, to be able to lead his family, or lead, someone that's in his life, even if it's his children or if he's in a relationship. He has to know where he's going. That's number one. I think
Hmm.
financial stability. And when I say financial stability, I don't mean that you have to be wealthy. I don't want people to think, oh, you have to be rich. I think it's financially responsible and independent. He has control over his finances. Like he tries to avoid like the unnecessary debt and find ways to invest in his future. Confidence, like he knows his worth, and he doesn't have to prove it constantly. I think emotional intelligence is like a big thing for me as well. Like he's able to manage his emotions, and doesn't allow like ego or anger or insecurities like to dictate his actions. I feel like a part of that is like also able to listen, communicate well, and just able to handle conflict maturely. Integrity, consistency, he keeps his word. I think physical and mental health is like really, really important. Leadership and influence. What else did I put? Strong boundaries and standards, social skills. purpose-driven relationships. Like you have meaningful connections over just the quantity. Whether it's friends, partners, or colleagues, I just feel like a man just have a reason for why he has those relationships in his life. And overall, I think that's just my opinion, is what a high value man is overall. Was that a lie?
I'm gonna say this: you got an A+. You got an A+, because if I didn't know any better, I would think that you looked at all of the notes and everything. Like you literally hit every point that I was going to go into, and yes, I can
Yeah.
say, yeah, you hit the nail on the head. A lot of people think that high value men is ultimately predicated on income, which income is a part of it, but income is not the most important part of it, because there are a lot
Yeah.
of people that got a lot of money. A lot of guys got a lot of money, but they ain't high value. They ain't shit. Case point,
Right.
the commander in chief, the president, he got a lot of money, but he ain't shit. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, when you start talking about those other attributes, integrity, self-control, emotional intelligence. The thing about integrity is, do you as a man, do you stand on your word? Do you stand behind your
Yeah.
word? Do you stay, steadfast on everything that you say? When you start talking about consistency, consistency as far as, your routines and stuff like that. Are you able
Right.
to financially stay the course for everything that you're doing? I think another aspect is going to be self-control. And self-control comes in a lot of forms, because self-control is not just with the money aspect, but as a man,
Right.
self-control is, if you're a single man, let's just be real, can't be out here, bumping and grinding with everything you see. You got to have self-control,
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
I think that's another sign. Also, I think the professional relationships that you build, business relationships, you know, one thing that I think gets lost in the sauce, as
Mhm.
far as the term high value men, is I think high value men seem to think, the term rather, people seem to think that this term is made to impress upon the opposite sex, which, listen,
Right.
it is, but we got to remember, you also have you have a jury of peers. You have other men that's looking at you. And I guess for me, my thing is, not that I worry about other people's opinion of me, but when my days on this earth are done and I close my eyes, for everybody that'll be in that church and I'm laying up there facing the ceiling or whatever, is my legacy that, to the point where people can say, he was not necessarily quote unquote a high value man, but does my legacy entail all of the characteristics that is defined as a high quality man? That's what I think we have going on as men, in comparison with other men that we're surrounded by, because
Right. Right.
that's just how it goes. Yeah.
I think I
I'm gonna go
lost
ahead
you.
on. Oh, you
Can
good?
you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. I got you. You there?
I can't hear you. Put me in the back show.
All
Give
right,
me
I'm
a
gonna put
second.
you in
I
the
can't
back
hear you.
right quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead on and put the link up right quick, and I'm gonna go ahead and the link is up. So if anybody wants to join in, the link is right there. Hit that link. I'll bring you in. You don't have to necessarily show your face. Just come on in. We want to hear your opinion. But while Shy gets straight, yeah, the high value man is just that, and it's just to be able to, as I said earlier, it's all about self-control, everything. I'm trying to see. You good to go? Okay, she's still working on it. But from a physical stance, you get to a point where when you're a younger age, not everybody is able to really understand at a younger age all of the attributes of what it takes to become that high value man. Because let's be real, maturity is a factor. If you're immature, if you don't have knowledge, if you don't have a general awareness to what it takes, um, it's not really easy to do that at a younger age. So a lot of times people will not develop into becoming high value until later in life. We'll go ahead on and hit some of these comments right here. Miss Katie says here in Miami Beach, way too many of both sexes have a lot of superficial idea of what's value. And I agree with that. And I think, Katie, I think what that is I think there's just this ultimate, it's money. It's all about money. People think that money is the ultimate identifier. And to me, that's not the case. You good? Let me see. Try to bring sis back in. You
Can
good
you
to
hear
go?
me?
I can hear you. You can hear me?
No,
Uh-oh.
I think I can. Hold on.
I can hear you though. I can hear you though. I can hear you.
Keep talking. I'll fix it.
All right, all right, all right. Just give me a thumbs up when you're ready to get back in. All right. I'm gonna let Shy get right, but I'm gonna bring one of our friends to the show. He's a good buddy of ours, good buddy of mine. Man, man, man. I know some knowledge is about to be dropped. So coming to the stage, first guest of the night. Man, I don't even have to give him an introduction. Let me just bring him on in here.
Yeah,
Brother Boosie,
yo,
what's up, bro? How you
what,
doing?
what's going on, fam? You can hear me?
I can hear you. You good to go.
All
You good to
all
go.
right, man. All right, man. I'm doing well, man. I'm doing better than I deserve, man. I don't have no complaints, bro. I'm above ground, man. Everything else is extra. So I take it for what it's worth, man.
All right. Hold on. Let me see if we got Shy right. You good? Just thumbs up, thumbs down. Oh,
Um, I'm not sure.
well,
I thought I was hearing it playing with them headphones, but I'm not sure. But yeah, man, everything's good, man. I can't complain, bro. Hey, I seen another birthday, June 3rd. The Lord allowed me to see another year, so I'm
happy
grateful for
birthday.
that. Yeah, man, definitely Gemini's in the house represent. But definitely good to see you, man. You looking good, man. Looking good. Hey, looking like you got 1,000,005 over there, man. Let me hold something.
Ah, man, 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 man. Listen to me. If I got it, I need to figure out where it's at, my brother, because I sure don't see it, man. But I appreciate you, man. I
Yes,
appreciate
sir. Yes, sir. Well, you talked about the value of a high value man. I believe the foundation is where it starts at, Larry Frank. Your foundation.
you.
Anything in life, you have to have a strong foundation. And even if your foundation didn't come out and didn't start out strong, meaning your father might not have been there, or absentee father died early, you had to become the man of the house early, you didn't have all the rules, regulations, you had uncles, but uncles wasn't, some of us had our uncles, and our uncles didn't step in like they was supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Instead of stepping up and telling us, hey, okay, you may not be suitable for college, but hey, let me tell you about how to go get a trade. Let me show you how to do this. Let me, you know what I'm saying? This right here is different avenues for you. Everybody's not
Mm-hmm.
college material, but in
Right.
life, and they pushed this so much in high school back in the day when we was coming through school, go to college, go to college, go to college.
Yep.
For what? For we can be $200,000 in debt and overqualified for a job that we're not going to get. Instead of having some truck drivers come through, some carpentry people come through, some electricians come through, things that we can, some chefs, all these type things that we can grab a hold to build a nice foundation so we can begin our life. But
Mm-hmm.
meanwhile, we got overvalued when we thought we had a dollar or two, but we didn't understand the value of a dollar. And when we don't
Right.
understand the value of a dollar, hey Shy, how you doing? Congratulations to
Hey,
your son. Good to
thank
see you.
you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
And we don't
much.
understand financial literacy and how to what to do with some money. So having some money, we see people, you get some money, you go buy you a car, you get you some jewelry, and the girls like, oh, I want to talk to him, I want to talk to him. Then when you get with him and he done ran through you and he done with you, now you're looking like Boo Boo the Fool. And but now you want to talk bad about the guy, and the guy didn't have no high value, but he thought he had high value because he had a money and a nice car and some jewelry. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So the the values that we put on ourselves, sometimes we belittle ourselves because we really don't understand our worth. If we understand how much we are really worth as black people, not being racist, but just being factual and actual, as black people, if we understand our real wealth, how much money we spend on clothes, designer things, how much money we give these people, hair products, eyelids, all these type of things.
Yeah.
If we sit here and say, you know what, it's no reason why we don't have so many own black black hair. We should have our own hairlines. You know what I'm
Well, let me
saying?
ask you a
We should have our
question.
own. Well, we should have our own type stuff, but instead we got to keep
Let me
going to the Koreans and things like that, and then when they shut stuff down and tariff happened, now we panic. Now we
Well, let
panic.
me ask you a question, Boosie. Let me ask
Yes,
you a
ma'am.
question. Do you really consider yourself a high value man? And if you do, why?
Um, I don't consider myself a high value man, but I consider myself a valued man. And the reason I consider myself a valued man is because I know my worth. I'm not going to shortchange you. I'm going to bring everything, the kitchen sink and all, when I come. I'm going to give you all of me. And now is all of me all good? Some of it ain't. You know what I'm saying? Because we have, sometimes we every day is not Sunday. Every day is not a good day. But I'm going to give you all of me. I love hard. I'm going to be faithful. I'm going to be true. My yay is going to be yay and my nay is going to be nay. You know what I mean? So in that
Okay.
aspect, we're going to build together. I would love to build an empire. My empire I want to continue to grow my empire.
Okay, so you don't think there's nothing else that you need to work on personally that will probably make you, I guess, improve better? I think do you feel like you're good? Like as long as you feel like
No.
your worth is good, that there's nothing you need to work on to make yourself
Yes,
better.
yes. No, no, no. This is a lot I need to work on. It's a lot. I mean, I'm talking about daily. You know what I mean? It's not just I have certain goals that I have. I don't have yearly goals. I have like 3-month goals because I try to make them attainable, and I try to make sure I'm headed in the right direction, and I try to hit those
Okay.
goals. And then when I miss that
So
mark, I try to like go
so
ahead.
name one thing that you would say that will make you a higher valued man. I know you said you know your worth and things
Right.
like that.
Give
But
me
what's one thing that you could honestly say, like, okay, boom, if I do this, I know I kind of like climb the ladder to where
patience,
I want to be.
patience, and better communication.
Okay. I like that one. I like
I
that.
think
Yeah.
I think one thing that gets lost in the sauce, Boosie,
Hmm.
is you may not consider yourself, as you said, a high value man. You're a man of value, but the fact that you're trying to elevate and get better, and you have short term goals, that indirectly makes you a high value man. You may not self identify as such, but me being another man, as I said earlier, us as men that our peers, that
Right.
makes me look at you in the light like, okay, he's not happy being content in the current state that he's in. He's trying to elevate to
Exactly.
another level. So you
Yeah.
may not self identify as high value, but that is the DNA of high value. That is a high value trait. And that high value trait indirectly, and we're all in the same circle, that serves to me as inspiration to want to do the same thing. Like what you have is contagious. So if you're trying to level up, guess
Hmm.
what? You have a conversation with other brothers. Hey, you're going to spark somebody else in the group to say, you know what? I think I need to go ahead on and dig myself and see where I can elevate myself as well. So guess what? You are
Exactly.
high value, truth be told.
All right. Well
Yeah.
received. I definitely received that. I appreciate that. But yeah, as
Ooh,
as
I
as
like
individuals,
that.
Shout
I
shouts
think we
out real
just we
quick.
just take.
Let me
Go ahead.
hold on, let me get this comment real quick. I'm gonna throw it back. Shouts out to Miss T. Stevens. She says, "High value man is a healing, evolving man." That is, boy. Look, that's gems
That
right
was
there.
good. That
That's
was
100.
good.
That's 100. Go ahead, Boost it. Make your
Yeah,
point.
That was good.
because a lot of men have been scarred and as you said, they have been healed from different things, and different things have occurred in their life to either make them stronger or to break them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And we go out here every day trying to strive to become better. We get hit with obstacles. We get trials and tribulations hit us, and it depends on your mentality and your surrounding and your support group of how you bounce back. You're not
Exactly.
gonna always be
Right.
you're not gonna be the smartest individual in the room, and that's good. But
You
can you
know,
take direction? Can you take criticism? You know what I'm saying? Can you take it with a grain of salt and learn from that? Some guys say, "Oh yeah, I can," but as soon as you tell them the truth, it's like, "Oh man, you yada 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 yada." But I'm grateful that I don't have my crew is not like that. You know what I'm saying? So
but you
that's also a thing.
But you know what someone asked me today? They said, Shy, what if the man has all these traits, financially, and he's this and that, everything basically that I named. What if he puts his hands on his woman? I said, that's not a high value man to me because that eliminates all of
Yep.
majority, like 85% of the traits that I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the show. That will eliminate that. You don't
Hmm.
have no control over your emotions. You understand what I'm saying? You're not a great
Right,
communicator or listener. It's just so much. So it's like, I'm not saying that a man has to be perfect because there's no such thing as that. However, the traits that I mentioned is just the involvement of what I feel is a high valued man. And this might not be on
right,
everybody's list, but that's
right.
it. I name on my list. And if
But
they are
I,
working on the things, I'm willing to work with that.
well, yeah, definitely. Well said, there, shot. And I would encourage any woman that's listening or that comes back onto the listen to it later and watch the show later. If a man puts his hands on you, that's not a man.
Facts.
This
Exactly.
is not a man. And I mean,
That's the man. Not
if
not
y'all
your
go to the point where you got to continue to put your hands when you reach the point where y'all got to put your hands on each other, that means y'all that's not the one for you. I know it
Right.
started
Yeah.
off good and everything was good, but sooner or later, that's why Mama used to always tell you, "Hold on, I know y'all together right now, but you don't know nobody until you live with them." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Until you live with them and really see, because they can fool you for the 4 hours y'all together. You can be fooled for a minute. They
Yeah.
can put on a great act. You know what I'm saying? But boy, hey, once you start waking up in the morning, you smelling his bathroom, he's smelling your bathroom, and it's like, hold up now. I'm not sure.
Right.
I'm not sure we really supposed to be together. So
Exactly.
yeah, definitely. Well said, Shy. Definitely, I definitely
Thank
agree with that
you.
on that.
I
And
think.
Yes.
I appreciate your comment as well.
I think.
All
I
right. I'm
think.
not going. I'm not going. Go ahead.
Real quick, I just want because it just popped in my head. I want to put it out while it's on my brain. I think the best
Mhm.
example, a good example of what you just said. Go back.
Mhm.
I think what was it? Medea's. What was that? The wedding movie. Medea's family wedding. The movie. The
Family,
movie where
family. I think it was a reunion or something like that. Yeah,
the family
What about
reunion
it?
or something like that. Remember Blair Underwood's character? He made all that money
Uh-huh.
and he was
yeah,
with the girl and he was putting his hands on her. So I think that's a great example of what is perceived as a high value man because he had the status, he had the money, he had the cars, he had the house, he
The
dressed good,
charisma.
all
Yeah.
of that. Go back to when you watched that movie and think about how you looked at this dude before you saw him put his hands up. Like, come on, Shy. I know how my wife was watching the movie. Like, yo,
Yeah.
this is a brother right here. But then
He's
when he
him. That's him.
first did what he did, how did your attitude towards him in that movie change? So,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
yeah. But
All you gotta do is look on the news. I mean, you look on the news now. All these guys with all this type of money. Now your money can't even save you right now.
right,
You take P Diddy. You take P Diddy, one that did a lot of music stuff and all this type of stuff, and people say what they want, but at the end of the day, this man's money, and everybody wanted to be a part of that bad boy. I want to go to the parties, want to go kick it, and all this. I remember when he threw his first party out there, not one of his first parties, but he threw an all white party out here in Atlanta at a club called Vegas Nights. Me, Devin,
Yeah.
the Devin, I think it was me, Jamal, and Skeet, I believe, went to the club, and that was the first time we went to the club that had a pool in it, and we was like, oh my goodness, you know what I'm saying? It was off the
mm,
chain. It was off the chain,
right,
off the chain, but not knowing later on in life, this same individual is fighting for his life because of the things he did to women, to our women. You see what I'm saying? So
yes,
I say that to say, don't let money always think that someone got it together. You know what I'm saying? I heard you say that earlier. So I was like, yeah, just because they have that, just because they have this, they have that. Maybe they be high value, but then later on, you find out they want to put their hands on you or they want to do some other things, and that's totally wrong.
Did you see what Katie wrote? She said, I want a man just like my mom. Put up her comment that she
Yeah,
did right
yeah.
before that, as far as her dad.
Oh yeah, let
She
me
had
put
put
this
up a
one
long
back up
comment. And I want
right
to
here.
touch base with that. Bootsy, I appreciate your comment. I thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir.
You
It's
know it.
always good to see you. Okay. You take care, you be
All
safe.
right,
You
y'all be
continue to
good. All
All
right,
right,
all
Boosie, be
right.
peace.
careful on that road, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Katie says my dad had no ambition or drive and wanted to cruise along with what my mom built. So I'm seeing things from a little bit of a bias. So Katie, so do you really, I guess, was your dad considered a high valued man to others or from like the outside, and then you seen another side of him inside the house, but that's I see a lot of men doing that too. Being
It's
home,
it's
the wife
really
working and all that. But you know, are stay-at-home dads high value? Are they considered high valued?
nope,
Stay-at-home dads? You don't think
nope,
so?
nope,
Hmm.
nope.
Why
We
is that?
well, here's the thing, and we touched upon this way back a couple of shows, and
I
to
think you
your
did.
point back then, we did. To your point back then, if the wife or the girlfriend's job required a lot of travel and a lot of like,
Yeah.
okay, and that's a different story if she's really on another level. But if she's just working a basic job
Okay.
and she's doing her part and he's in the house and he ain't doing nothing and he's taking advantage of her emotions because she loves him and he figures that just changing the diapers and watching the baby is going to give him a pass to be able to sit at home and play the video game 24/7. I'm not feeling
So,
it.
but why are you belittling that job though? Because being a stay-at-home mom is a lot.
No,
So if he's a
I'm not
stay-at-home dad,
I'm
not
not be
not
I'm not belittling the job. If she has a basic job okay, if they're struggling, okay, let's say she's working, okay,
okay.
she's doing her part, okay. So guess what?
Mm-hmm.
If she's doing her part, why is he not trying to help her and help the household by doing his part? That's what I'm getting at. Let's.
Okay.
And I don't want to knock.
I think I
I mean,
lost you.
God knows I hate to call certain jobs out, but let's say she's working in retail.
I
We
lost
all
you.
know. Oh, you out again?
I lost you again. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, you good.
That's God right here. That was God that took it.
Yeah. God must not have wanted you to hear what I had to say.
Put me in the backstage. I'll be right back.
I'll
Let me get
I'll
another
put you.
charger.
I'll put
All
you.
right, give me a
Yeah, I'll
second.
put you. All right, I'll put you in the back. But to kind of finish off what I was about to say, if you're a woman and you're working, say, retail or something, listen, we all know with this economy and everything that's going on, you're not making top dollar in that type of industry. If you're working that as a woman and you have a man living with you and he is capable of doing more to help you in the household, but he chooses not to do it and your household is struggling, you have trouble keeping the lights on, she's doing all she can do, then guess what? I don't respect that. I don't respect that whatsoever. And to me, no, you're just not high value, at all. You're just not high value at all. Um, Waiting on Shy. Let me see. You good? Let me see if she's good. All right, bringing her back in.
Sorry, I don't know. That was God right there.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I
God
want
is
to go back to some of these. Okay, so we highlighted Katie. I want to go back
Mhm.
to Miss T because I have wanted to make this point as well, highlight her point rather.
Okay.
She says a healing, evolving woman will recognize a healing, evolving man and will meet him where he is. Yes, I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
Let me reread this so hold on. A healing evolving woman will recognize a healing evolving man and will meet him where he is.
I'll
Okay.
gi- I'll get to that. I'll get to that in a second. I want to highlight more of these comments because I'm trying to catch everybody. Miss Katie said, yeah, because they thought he earned what he was showing. Joseph Bernard, what it's like to be a stay-at-home dad. Yep. Fatback, what's up? Don't know what the hell that is. Shouts out to my bonus mom.
I can't hear you, but I just read that text. That's my friend Mike.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I'm like, okay. Hey, this program and this channel brings everybody.
Every time somebody is talking crap, I got you. Hold on. I'm about to fix this.
Bonus mom, thank you for the dono. As always, hope you're feeling better. Boosie responded for the Chiefs comment, talking about go Broncos. Wow, man. Wow.
Crazy.
Pinard, how you know he don't work from home? Well, we get that. I understand that, but there's quite a few of them that they don't work from home because the W-2s and they're not showing nothing at the end of the year. So straight up, T. Stevens says, hey,
that's a bomb.
My sentiments exactly.
What's the bomb? A stay-at-home dad is the bomb?
The stay-at-home dad. I'm thinking she's saying the stay-at-home dad is a bum if he's at home and the woman is struggling.
Okay. I got you. Yes.
In other words, if he can do better and he's not doing better and putting all that pressure on her, you doggone right. Because God is doing work in both of them. And Michael J. Larry, big homie, that was meant for Miss Blue, sir, non-negotiable. So that between y'all, I ain't got nothing to do with it. He just, hey, it's all good.
That's like my brother, bro. He gets on my nerves.
It's all good. It's all good.
So, Mike, since you have so much to say, what do you think a high value man is, sir?
And I am going to
say.
Put the link back up because I really want to see what some of these comments are going to be, what some of these responses are going to be. So don't be scared.
Hey, T, question for you. Are you currently dating a high value man? If you are dating or if you're in a relationship, or have you dated a high value man before? That's what I want to know.
We'll wait on that response.
Have I dated a high value man? I think I'm.
Well, let me ask you this. Because I find like, let's be real.
Hold on. Again, I promise.
Boy, God, I don't know what you did, guys. Boy, God getting you right now. I don't know what's going on.
Let me see.
I don't know what's going on, but
I don't either.
I think while you get straight again, I think the term high value man really came into a more, I guess you could say, a more looked at existence since the era of Kevin Samuels. Because before Kevin Samuels, at least with us in our culture, nobody heard of a high value man as it was, coined as such. I think that term really took off in the era of Kevin Samuels. You good? You good? Yeah. Okay. All right. So
you said it took off with Kevin Samuels?
I think it took off with Kevin Samuels because when he started really breaking down some things, I think that's when people started paying attention to what that was all about, Let me catch this comment. On the Spot says, my high value man noticed 3 versions of me when I was fighting with myself internally. And you know what? I want to give some credit to that comment, to On the Spot's comment, because that's another thing that high value men they portray, a trait that they possess, able to identify and recognize what's going on with their woman. Because if you're into yourself as a man and you miss what's going on with your woman, that's not always, a good trait to have, if you're not catching it. So when you get to the point where, as she just says, notice 3 versions of me when I was fighting with myself internally, if you're able to pick up on that, that goes back to what you said earlier, sis, about the emotional intelligence. He's got the emotional intelligence to be able to pick up and recognize what's going on. Miss Katie said, what Miss Shy said earlier was spot on. She had to instill high value in her boys in playing the role of mom and dad. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let me go. Let me go ahead on and change it up. All right.
I'm sorry.
All right. I'll bring it back in when you're ready. Um, Miss T says, I have not dated a high value man because I never knew my worth, but I healed and became closer to God. I realized I was attracting broken men because I was. Great point. Great point.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sis. I see you had
I'm
to
in there.
improvise, so make it happen. Make it happen. It's all good. It's all
It's
good.
all good. So what was the last comment? I missed that one.
Miss T had put up, I'll put it back up.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I have not dated a high value man because I never knew my worth. But as
Oh,
I healed and became closer to God, I realized I was attracting broken men because I was.
wow, T. I can definitely relate to that. Definitely relate to that. I can 100% agree. Absolutely. You what is this? What's the saying? You attract what you are.
Yes.
Is that how it goes? Yeah.
It's something
It's
in
something
that
like
regard.
that.
So your buddy Michael J, he responded. He says, a high value man. Me personally, I believe every man is a high value man. It may not be to just any women's standard, but if you value yourself in your actions, you will be able to focus and manifest it.
I don't agree with that. I don't think every man is a high value man. Like we was just talking about just now, like a man that puts his
Mhm.
hands on women. That's not a high value man. I don't care how you put it or whatever the case may be. And I guess people are looking at it like whatever your standards are or whatever you're looking for will be considered a high value man is up to the person you're dating. But I just think overall, um, like Kevin Samuels, I just don't think people can really handle the truth. Like women was out here saying, "Oh, I'm a 10, I'm this, and that," and people were fighting against that comment that he was making because it was hurt people's feelings or whatever she believes in. That's what she is, and who gives him the right to say this and that about a person and rate them? Who is he, God? It's not really about that, but let's be realistic. With certain things, I didn't agree with him with everything, though. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't agree with everything. However, you got to at least hit the foundation of what a high value person is. Like you can't be a bum and be lazy sleeping on your mama's couch at the age of 40 or 50 and think you're a high valued man. I'm sorry. Like, I just don't. If you look up high valued, it's not going to say, okay, the bum that's sleeping on the couch or just any man, whatever he believes in. It's a definition for that, you know? And I just don't agree with that, Mike. Sorry.
Well,
I
Mike,
really,
Mike, to your point, Mike said women beaters don't count. So
come on.
he
So that's. But that
here's
woman beater might feel like he's a high value man, right?
oh, you got quite a few of them. You got quite a few of them
Exactly.
out here. You got quite a few of them out here. Link is up, y'all. If
Yeah.
y'all want to join in on the conversation, the link is up. So click that link. We'll bring you in. You got quite a few guys. And here's the thing that a lot of people, this stuff is going on in a lot of households, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not known. So you got a lot of guys, as we alluded to from the Tyler Perry movie. Maybe they don't make that much money as Tyler Perry portrayed Blair Underwood's character to make, or have a certain status. But you
Right.
got basic guys who are making 80 to 100 grand a year. So they're making a certain amount, and they may be footing the bill for everything in the house and taking care of the home. And when it's all said and done, unfortunately,
Yeah.
they feel they got the right to start smacking, their women around, which is that
Yeah.
negates and basically that devalues you as a man.
Absolutely. But I've dated guys that were making six figures, and I was like, as far as my experience, some of them are not great listeners. They don't feel like they have to listen because they make so much money, they bring so much to the table, or they might
Hmm.
feel like they don't have to respect you in that type of way. Some of them, it was more like I said earlier, quantity and not quality. They were very known, popular, so they got really big headed because everyone knows them. But it was just like, but there was no foundations in the relationships that you have. You just want to be known, you want to be seen. And I didn't see that
Hmm.
as a high value man. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just, it's not all about the dollar, it's not all about the money you have. It's really, it's deeper than that. Like, especially mental health and
Hmm.
physical health means a lot to me, especially that mental. That mental is extremely important. You know,
Right.
like we was talking about on our show previously, weeks ago, months ago, we was talking about mental health with men, you know, and how important that is, and how we need to have a balance on that. As far as even physical health, like that's important to me. I'm not saying you have to be all buffed up and muscled, but it's like take care of yourself. You
Hmm.
know, like where are you aiming? What's your goal? Are you going to be working out? Are you going to be just eating any and everything? And then here I am, 70 years old by myself, you know? So it's
Right.
like a lot goes in my list that I had. I know it was a lot. I know it was long, but it's reasons behind that. You know,
Right.
it's like for me personally, and that might not, like I said, that list might not go for everybody, but for me personally, that's how I feel.
I'm gonna highlight some comments right quick. Miss Katie said, "When my dad was around, I was caught between two sets of values, and I would flip flop between the two. You have to have a
Mm,
dad that elevates you, a man that has direction and can put you on the right road."
see?
That is true. That is true. Let me go ahead on. Michael J says lies. Okay,
What is
I don't
lies? What
know.
part is lies?
He'll clarify it.
What?
He'll clarify it. Miss Katie came right back, said, "My mom's dad is why my mom is who she is today. That's a high value man." And that's true. That is
Wow.
true. That is true. You know, when you as a man can raise your daughter, if you
Yeah.
have daughters and get them to really be strong, that's that
Yeah.
high value that you've instilled in them, you know. Miss T, mental and physical health is very important. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yes.
Joseph Bernard, you crazy to stay with a man that hits on you? That's a damn punk. But some ladies can't and won't leave that situation. Lord have mercy.
And for a
That
lot of
is
reasons, it might
yes.
be financial stability. It might be, you know, the
Yup.
control or whatever the case may be. I've even seen on social media, it was a lady on there. She said, I know my man cheats, but I get to go shopping and get whatever I want and buy this and buy that. Like, what? You understand what I'm saying? Like,
I get it.
yeah, no. No.
And Michael J. He said, Miss T. Stevens, I'm a high value man. He put it down. He self-proclaimed it.
Oh God.
He
Mike, sit
self-proclaimed
your behind down
it.
somewhere. At least when
Okay,
you
he
get
came back. He
70
said, when you get to
shot, I'll
seven,
be able to roll you around.
Mike ain't playing. Mike ain't playing. Oh, Miss T bit on it. She said, "Hey, boo."
Oh, listen, okay. Okay.
Hey,
Not no love connection now. Look at this.
listen. Let me
High
put a
value
disclaimer out.
mandate.
Let me put a
Listen.
disclaimer out real quick. The views and opinions expressed here on Real Talk and any connections that are made are not that of Miss Shy or LFJ. So do it at your own risk. You ain't
Unless it's
suing us.
successful. I want to take the credit if it's successful though, Larry. We
Oh,
gotta
if
take
it's
the credit.
successful, yeah. If it's successful,
Yes,
we're gonna
invite
take
us to the
credit. But if it
wedding,
don't
all
work out,
that.
don't be sending no lawyers this way. We not no. We ain't you ain't finna pay us. You ain't coming after
I know
us.
they're gonna be playing our show for
All up
they're
in
gonna
the
be playing our
courtroom and
show at the
all of that.
court hearing, right?
Nah. You're gonna be up there. You're gonna see this excerpt on Miss Pat. Miss Pat gonna be on that show
That's
Miss
gonna be
Pat
so
got.
ghetto. So ghetto. So
Yeah,
ghetto.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's so many aspects of it. And I want to kind
Yeah.
of, right while we still got a little bit of time, I want to kind of
Yeah.
go it on and impress more since Miss Katie was talking about her upbringing. Look at this.
Hmm.
Look, Mike giving the googly eyes and
Oh
stuff like
my God.
this. This is wild. All right, stay on focus. Stay on focus.
Oh God,
I
y'all.
want I want to highlight while we got some time, while we still on about the importance of at least from if you are a high value man, being able to instill those traits, particularly in the young boys, because when you look at the young boys right now, and you look at the generation that we're in, the culture that we're in right now, the times that we're in, it's so hard to find young boys, or should I say young men, when they
Really
hit 18,
children,
19 years
Larry.
old.
Really children, because look what Katie just said.
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And
because
we
it's
appreciate you, Mike. We love you
we
too,
love you
bro.
too, Mike.
But
But like that just shows because of I feel like a high value man leads the entire family, and
mhm,
it affects the woman becoming a high value woman based on how she see her high valued dad treating her high valued mother.
mm,
You understand what I'm saying? It's a
mhm.
recreation because it really starts with the man. And if I'm in a household and I'm seeing my dad treat my mom a certain type of way and she's staying in the relationship and she's I look at her as a high value woman, what do you think I'm gonna do when I get in my relationships?
You're gonna repeat. You're gonna go ahead on
I'm gonna
and
repeat the
just
cycle.
a cycle. Yeah, the hamster in the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I'm sorry, I'm sorry to cut you off, but you can
you
finish what you were
good. No,
saying.
you good. You good. But I want to ask you a question because I want to know
Hmm.
exactly because I remember when we had your baby boy on a few weeks ago, going into
Yeah.
graduation, and
Hmm.
you can tell the upbringing is quality. You can tell that you're raising him right as a single mother, and it's so hard for a woman to raise a young boy to be a man, especially a black woman to
Yeah.
raise a young black boy to become a young black man. So, what I like to
Absolutely.
ask you is, what is it do you think is missing from the men's side? Because I mean, look, me with my
Hmm.
son, we didn't always see eye to eye as all boys. You know, all boys are going to buck up against their daddies. It happens. But as he's gotten older, his respect level, he's heading in that direction. He's heading in that direction where I can see he right now to me he's on the way to becoming that top notch high value man. His
Absolutely.
mannerism, he's cool. He doesn't get mad. The way he speaks, he's all about working, making his money. He stays to
Yeah.
himself. He's forging relationships. That's my thing. So how is it it's so hard, or what's lacking, I should say, with so many young boys that we don't have more high value men in training? Because as a man, I know I did my job, but it's so many that I know out there that don't do a job. And in comparing with how you did your job and how you did such a great job, and so many other single mothers that I know, that
Hmm.
same situation. They're raising those young kings, and those boys are respectful. What's the difference? Why?
I can't really answer that because I only could tell you what I experienced in my household. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I think honestly within myself, I had to realize that I can't take the job of his dad. So a lot of people called me yesterday and said, Happy Father's Day. I said, don't tell me Happy Father's Day. I'm not a father. I'm a
Thank you.
mother that had to step up to the plate and just be a mother and do what a mother had to do. He has a father. It might not be the best relationship, but that's how I made him. That's how it was
Hmm.
created. And there's no manual to it. You understand? But I think the main thing that I did raising my son, I had to respect him. And when I say this, people will be like, what do you mean respecting the kid? Da, 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 da. I had to respect my son to listen to my son. You understand
Hmm.
what I'm saying? I didn't just raise my son and say, just shut up, just do what I say, and shut up, go in your room. I used to explain to my kids why I'm telling them certain. I set my kids down. We had conversations. Well, even to this day, put your cell phones away. Let's talk. How was your day today? What's going on? I've asked them, what can I do to be a better parent? You understand? I took constructive criticism. You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying? And a lot of parents, they beat their chest so much. It's like, I'm the parent, you just do what I say. Da 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 da. Me and my son have a very trusting relationship. We have a very understanding relationship. I'm not his best friend where it's like, oh, we're just buddy buddy. I'm his mother and he respects me as that. And I just try to provide all the resources I possibly can. You understand what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
I had to also understand that my generation is not the same as this generation now. So the way
Right.
my parents raised me, I couldn't raise my kids the same way. I gave them the foundations that I was raised on. Absolutely, the spiritual, all of that, like, certain things, the foundation I gave my kids. But I had to change the way I was parenting based on today's society. Not fall victim and be like, the soft parenting thing that they always talk about. No, I'm not talking about that. Because listen, no, I'm very strict to a certain extent, but I listened to my son. I
Mm-hmm.
listened to his hurt. I listened to his pain. I took my son to therapy. I admitted when I was wrong. You understand? I said I was sorry to my son. I
Mm-hmm.
apologized to my son. So a lot of and I was beat up I was beat up. I was raised in a house where they beat the kids. I got beatings, like it
Yeah.
was a lot of physical abuse growing up. I wasn't like that with my son, you know. But I think it was probably one time I had to go toe to toe to him, like, listen, it,
You really had to put
but
them boxing gloves on.
what? What? He tried me one time and one time only. My oldest son tried me too, but they never did again. But it's just I can't really say what's missing. I don't know if it's just the leadership and the vulnerability and the accountability in parents. You know,
I'm a,
I
I'm a, Go ahead, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, we just have to admit, like, the way some of us was raised wasn't always the right way, and we just had to take accountability if we messed up. Like, I'm not perfect, I probably should have not yelled and raised my voice and slammed the door and stuff like that. Maybe I should have just heard what you had to say, and give you advice and guide you the best way I can. But we're human.
Uh, I'm gonna highlight a couple of these comments right quick. Joseph Bernard said, "Man, this young generation really don't like to listen, and when, and when you talk to them and break things down to them, it's in one ear and out the other. You just trying to get them right because we've been there. Hallelujah,
But this
hallelujah,
younger
bro.
generation is hurting. This young generation is hurting. They're traumatized. They're hurting, and then you also got to look at their parents. Who raised their parents and things like that. It's a lot of times the dads are locked up. They're gone. It's a one woman household. It's tough. Some moms are working 2 3 jobs. They're not even home. Not even
But
home.
not all of them,
No,
because
not
I
all. No,
know
no, 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 not all.
I know some. I'll be 100. And you're right. You do have a lot of kids in this generation, or younger, children rather in this generation that's hurting. But you also this a lot of this generation is just effed up. Like they
It
just
is. It
you
is.
can't you really can't tell them nothing. It's like you tell them stuff because you've been there, as JB said, for their own good, and they
Exactly.
get mad at you and get offended. It's crazy. Mike says, why is it a high value man can be recognized by a woman and it's still women that won't be submissive to their top notch? Ooh, boy, high value
Hold on. Okay,
man.
why is it a high value man can be recognized? Why can't they be recognized by a woman?
He's saying, why is it a high value man can be recognized by a woman, but it's still women that don't, in other words, that don't want to be submissive to their top notch high value
Lord, the
man.
word submissive. Here we go. We about to start it up.
That's the universal word of the show.
So, Mike, you think you're a high value man?
Yeah, he said it
My
earlier.
mom, always- my mom always let me mess up, but then taught me how not to do it
Yep.
again. Yeah.
And Miss T. But who
But
did they
who did
learn
they
from?
learn from? It all starts at
Starts at
home.
home. Yes.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. 100% agree with that. She is not for you then, MJ. Ooh.
Brother Mike, I think you're hurting
maybe
your
T.
chances, bro.
Maybe T might be the one for you then, MJ.
Ooh. This is getting wild right now. This is definitely getting
But it
wild.
does
But
start from home. It really, honest to God, is. You know,
yeah,
it
yeah.
really does. It really does. I have
What?
one of my son's friends
Mhm.
lives up north in Baltimore, and he wants to come because he came down for my son's graduation. And when I say, he was like, man, they call me Dukes. It was like, Dukes, I want to just live down here. I don't even want to be up there no more. Like, I'm
Mhm.
trying to stay out the way. I'm trying to do the right thing, but it's my environment. It's my environment, bro. Like, he was like, I just can't do it. I want to be somewhere where it's more peaceful. I don't have to watch my back, things like that. And I'm just like, it's so many more kids like him that's just in their environment, in the situation, and you know,
I
it's
think
bad.
I think that speaks volumes that at that age he recognizes that he wants a change,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
so many in this generation they become numb to their surroundings and they feel
Mm-hmm.
like that is the way of life. They don't
Yeah.
want to leave. They don't want to leave the nest, and they could be
Mm-hmm.
in a spot where the environment's not good. They want to stay there, knowing
Mm-hmm.
the chances that they take. So credit to him.
Yeah.
Uh, shouts out to Brandon Brock, man. That's a friend of our show on the Utah side. He says so many factors are at play here. Nowadays, the finger is pointed at the parents. Parents get blamed, but the lessons do not reach all kids in the same way.
Right.
Yeah. And I think the thing I can take from that comment or a question that I can get is, how do you reach them then? How do you reach these kids, these modern day kids now? You know, because you're competing with social media, you're competing with electronic devices. You know, look, back in the
How can you
day,
not blame the parents?
was
Is
that?
it how can you not blame the parents though?
Well, I
Like
mean,
I can see a certain age, but
mhm.
like when they're little kids, for example, I've seen videos on Instagram, social media, 5, 6, 7-year-old kids is cursing adults out. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
And they think it's cute.
and they think it's cute.
In other words, but I think we're tapping into something else here. You're starting to get into where you have this younger parent, a younger age generation parent that they're barely out of the stage where they live for social media.
Yeah,
So,
they want to see how many views they get, how many
yes,
likes.
yes. Miss Katie says she grew up on a ranch, and things she says is like listening to my granddad. Like when you walk across the pasture and step in boo boo, do you step in the same pile coming back? That is true. Mr. Brock, if you have 4 kids, 3 go wayward, and only 1 excelled in life, is that the parenting? All you can do is thank God and know you did your best.
Mm,
Or there's no
that was
gain in
so
the
sad.
that was profound. Or there's no gain
Yeah.
in the second kick of a mule. You know, it's tough. It's tough right now because, and this is to everybody in the chat, everybody watching. When you go out, I don't care if you're at the grocery store, Walmart, out to eat, if you're out at an event, circus, whatever,
Yeah.
pay attention when you see these younger parents. Pay attention because I notice it. This is just in the back of my mind. Pay attention to how these younger parents literally. I seen a lady the other day in Walmart. She got the kid by one arm, walking with the kid. The kid's trying to pull away from her, and she's too busy scrolling on her phone. You know, a young girl.
Crazy.
And then as they get older, I guess it's really a lack of appreciation that the kids are going to feel because they're going to feel like they're not getting the attention because mama's always on the phone, daddy's always on the phone.
Yeah.
And then, as we said a couple of shows ago, you said it back. The kids now have tablets at 2 years old and 3 years old.
Absolutely. So what do you think they're gonna get their attention from? Or how about those kids that lock themselves in the room and be on the video game all day long? Like remember that there was a young boy that committed suicide because he was listening to an AI on the
Mm-hmm,
computer and the AI told him to get off unalive himself. You
mm-hmm.
know, it's just like, where was the parents? What's going on? Why would you let your child in a room for the hours of the day on a computer? What does he say?
He
Or what did Mike
says,
say?
Mike said at I just did 10 years in federal prison. I'm 36 years old. I truly believe that women are stingy. No one is submissive. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I'm seeing a lot. Can you help me, Miss T? So Miss T, he's calling out for help, Miss T. Joseph
Different
Bernard
world,
says
different
different world,
time.
different time, and that's facts. That's facts. That's facts.
Yeah,
And you know
yeah.
what? Right on cue with what he said. I was one that played a lot of video games growing up. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like summertime, I'd get up 7, 8 in the morning. I'm telling my age now on the
It's
Nintendo.
okay. Yeah, we know you just turned 21, Larry. It's all right.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. But I was on that Nintendo
Uh-huh.
all day. But I would still find time to cut it off and go outside and socialize with my friends and go see what
Yeah.
outside life was like. You know, um, let's see, Miss Katie. My
I
idea of
know.
a high value man is Kobe Bryant, and it has nothing to do with money. Okay, all right,
Yes.
all right. Shouts out to
I think
Cannon.
LeBron
What's
is
up, Cannon?
too. I think LeBron
Yeah.
is definitely a great example of that. And I think like Kevin Hart at first, I think he was working on some things, but he's definitely developed for what I see and
Hmm.
his conversations and how he talks and things like that. I would say he's considered a high value now. One person, is it Cam Newton? I don't
Hmm.
know. Like Cam be kind of confusing me. Cause I be watching his podcast, he be confusing me sometimes because it's his view on women and just multiple women and things like that. He doesn't want to get married. It's just I don't know. Like I don't know. It just seems like behind closed doors, he seems like he might be really different than what he's portraying on TV. I used to like Cam a lot. I do. I did. But
I
it's
I
just
I will be respectful of Cam because I do not know, but I have some doubts about Cam's manhood, and I'll leave it at that.
yeah. He's just I don't know. But yeah. But LeBron and like Kobe definitely
Yeah.
are
Miss
definitely
T
great examples.
Miss T says there are submissive women, me being one, but I surrendered to God and He's evolving me into a Proverbs 31 woman.
Okay.
Shouts out. And she says Cam is
And it's
insecure,
insecure.
amongst other
Yep.
things too.
Shaq.
Shaq is
Shaq is
another.
another high valued.
Did you see what Shaq said the other day?
No, what?
Shaq was around there saying, do not tell women when you're not feeling good or when you're having problems, like don't confide in your woman.
Oh,
Like
because they'll
Shaq
use
is,
it against you?
yeah. I'm like,
Yes.
Shaq,
I don't think Shaq is a high valued man. Shaq is first of all a huge cheater, a huge liar. Like I watch too much basketball wives to and listen to Shawnee and what she had to go through. Yeah, no.
yeah.
Uh-uh.
Shouts out to Cannon. Mr. Cannon, he said emotional intelligence, which you said earlier,
See, told
financially
you.
responsible,
Said that
respected
one.
by other men and women, leads with confidence,
Uh-huh.
not ego, health oriented.
See?
All the
See?
points. That's why I
That's
said you hit it.
confirmation.
Yeah, you
That
said it.
is
You said it.
confirmation for me. Now where are they now? Where are the high value?
That's another.
Oh God.
That's another one. Mr.
T, where
Cannon
they
said
at,
we don't know
T?
these celebrities, which
Katie, where
is
are they, Katie?
yeah. You're gonna have to talk to Katie and Miss T for that. Now they're gonna have to lead you to where they at. But and that's another thing I want to credit with what Cannon is saying. We don't know these celebrities, which is true. We only
Right.
know what they let us know. And it's just
Yeah.
like when they do the reality television. I'm seeing that Nelly and Ashanti is about to have a reality TV series. And I hope, I'm going to just be honest, most of these reality shows with couples, it tends to cause rifts in their relationships.
It does.
I hope when I saw that promo the other day, I said to myself, I hope whatever this is doesn't cause any problems. Because if you noticed, and to Cannon's point, we don't know they're behind closed doors, but it seems like they're really happy because every time you see Nelly and Ashanti, they're both all ear to ear, teeth, and all of that
I
stuff.
feel
So
like it's a little phony to me.
you think so?
I always felt like Ashanti was. Now, I love Shanti because she's a Libra. That's my girl and everything like that. But I just feel like Ashanti is a little fake. Like she be trying to laugh. Like she makes it seem like everything is just hilarious. Like always just like ah. It's like, bro, that wasn't even that funny. Like I just feel like she tries
She
to
been like that.
portray,
She been
huh?
like that though. Ashanti always
Yeah.
been like that. She laugh at everything.
No. I just couldn't
Like
really connect with Ashanti. Like. I just kind of feel like it's a little phony.
Joseph Bernard says R.I.P. to Kobe, but didn't he step out also? Ooh,
That was in the beginning. He was still developing. He was still
okay.
developing because he stepped out when it was like the what? Not want to say the very beginning, but it was like at his peak at the
Early
prime.
stages. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
like right
So
before Shaq left, like 2003, 2004, in that
yeah,
area.
he
Yeah,
was still
yeah.
developing, and I couldn't imagine being like an NBA player or like a celebrity and having to deal with all that temptation. Like Kobe was like the number one star forever. Like having girls like that takes a lot of self discipline, you know. So
Michael J has a question. Who do you think is a high value man, Shy? I'm curious. Patiently
I
waiting.
told you. I said LeBron is an example of a high valued man. Um, You know what? I was just, I think once my grandfather got much older, he became a high value man because my granddaddy was a cheater. Lord, he was a cheater. You know, yeah. As far as like people that I know, I think you're a high value man, Mike. I really do. I think you're a good guy. A lot of my male friends that I have are very high valued men because I don't like to surround myself with anything really lower, beneath my standards as far as even friends. So a lot of my friends are very high valued men. I
Mr.
think you
Cannon.
are, Larry. I think my brother D, Dev, I
But
think my whole circle is.
that's what I was just about to say.
Yeah.
As I've gotten older, I realize that I want to surround myself with other like-minded brothers like myself.
Yeah.
There's a couple of guys I used to hang with that are far from high value. And I don't
Mhm.
deal with them no more. Nothing against them. It's just
Yeah.
that I'm moving in a different direction than they are, and I don't choose to go in that direction.
Yeah.
Cannon says Nelly was the same with Miss Jackson. Joseph Bernard, this is back with Kobe, said, don't try to clean it up now.
How? Y'all get on my nerves.
Hey, you know it is. Hey,
No, Katie. Yeah, Kobe did step out very early, years ago. It was like
yeah,
2003. He did step out.
it was in
Yeah.
Denver with I think it was a hotel staffer because he had to beat the R word charge.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Oh
yeah, it
wow.
did happen. It did
That was
happen.
crazy. Yeah.
Mr. Cannon has a good question. Do you get a pass for stepping out if you have the bag?
No, like stepping out does not give you a pass, bro. Like, I mean, stepping out with money doesn't give you a pass at all. Because it just says a lot about yourself, like self control, self discipline, keeping your word, like saying you're going to be committed in this relationship, not stepping out because you was drunk or whatever, or because you have a lot of money that gives you the pass to be able to do that. No, no, sorry, not in this
Yeah.
household. But somebody, the
Um.
next woman, that they will give their man a pass, so that's on them.
Okay. Uh. Miss T says Patrick Mahomes, which
Which
I,
one is
I don't.
Patrick? Is that the guy
Chiefs.
who played for
Chiefs
Philly?
quarterback. Chiefs quarterback.
Chiefs. Oh, the
Jalen,
one.
Philly is Jalen Hurts. Now, Jalen seems to
What?
be, Jalen seems to be, and a matter of fact, congrats to Jalen and his wife, fiance or whatever. They just had the
Yeah,
birth of their first child over the weekend, I believe.
I
So,
love them
yeah,
together.
Jalen seems to
I
be,
love them together.
right there.
Hmm.
Mike said LeBron is a crybaby.
He's still a high valued man. Leave LeBron alone. He's playing the game.
Devin coming in, he says Denzel Washington. Yeah, you know what?
Yes.
We forgot about that one.
Yes.
We
My
forgot about that one.
Denzi.
Him and
He
Miss
definitely
Pauletta.
is.
Definitely. She stood by him and he stands by her. Mr. Brock,
Yeah.
I believe any man who makes six figures or more, he isn't faithful. Any man in a position of power, preacher, community activist, is not a faithful man.
So,
Ooh.
Brandon, if you're in a position of power, you're telling me that you're gonna cheat just because you have that power?
I think I know what he means by that. And Brandon, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm gonna go ahead on and take a swing at this. I'm thinking that
He said,
most
"Preacher."
men,
That nigga said, "Preacher."
I'm just saying, I'm just saying, when
I
you're in a
beg to differ
position
on
of
that
power,
one.
when you're in a position of power in any form of fashion, women, as a man, women are going to throw themselves at you. Now,
Absolutely.
this is where the integrity factor comes into play. This is where the consistency of doing the right thing comes into play. if women throw themselves at you and you're in that position of power, it's a dopamine rush.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do? Or are you going to stand by your principles and like Martin, bah, 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 bah.
Right,
Remember how
right,
you
right.
did that, you know? Or are you going to succumb to the temptations and feed your inhibitions? And a lot of men in power is feeding their ego. So, Mr. Brock, if I'm right,
Mhm.
please let me know. If I'm wrong, please correct me.
Now you know who I think is not a high value man, but probably some people might have viewed him as one.
Who's
What
that?
was Oprah's boyfriend name? That
Stedman.
she, I don't think he was considered a high value man. Because
Sted,
it's
Stedman was a punk.
yes,
I'm gonna call it like
definitely.
it was. He was a punk
He
because
was a punk.
I
And that's
don't care. I do not care how long you've been with Oprah. Because I think they might still be together, like
I
damn
was
near
just about to
40 years.
ask you.
I think they're still together 40 years. These
She
people were
messing with
together.
Tyler. Oprah and Tyler messing around, man.
You saw Tyler on the boat with that other dude. The pictures came out the other day.
No
Tyler was
comment.
on the
No comment. Because I already think Tyler is already a little, but
No, he ain't a little, he's a lot.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
ain't
That
nobody gonna
definitely
play
they
Medea
look
and wear
real
a dress. And,
comfortable.
hey, he gets a little bit into that Medea role, a little bit too
A
much for
little
me. Miss
he
T,
real comfortable. He real comfortable.
real comfortable. Miss T
Like,
says, Brandon Brock, high value doesn't make you a high value man. Michael J, are you just saying that so Miss T Stevens can get active with a real talk fan? Boy, what y'all got going on here?
listen. I ain't
Miss
say
Katie
nothing.
said, I ain't saying nothing either. Miss Katie said that was a gold digger trying to get in Kobe's
Of
bag.
course.
Yep,
Of
that's what it
course.
was.
Of course.
Miss
It was a
T
setup.
says, right. Miss T says money doesn't make you a high value man.
Absolutely not.
Uh Miss Katie says Jalen Hurts for
Jalen,
sure.
yes. I love Jalen Hurts.
Jalen, that's a good dude. That's a good dude. That's a good dude. All right, Mr. Brock. Yeah, we on the same page. So
Yeah.
that's what he was going at. So yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, the comments are rolling, man. Appreciate everybody for taking part in the show tonight like this. The man
Oh,
that let y'all get away really messed up.
Katie. Oh, thank you, Katie.
You listen, Katie is being cool because you ought to see her on the hurricane shows. Katie, boy, Katie lets loose.
She lets
That's
it
our
loose.
people. What? Katie cuss better than some men I know. Boy, Katie don't play. Katie don't play on them
She
hurricane
get it from
shows.
her mama.
Hey, straight up.
Hold up,
Shouts
what
out to
was that?
Cannon.
I make
Cannon
six
said
figures, and that's not
that's
another.
not another.
What do you mean that's not another?
I make six figures. That's not a lot of money.
Oh, okay. Got
Yep.
you. So hold on. Are you considered a high value man, sir?
To Cannon. That question is out to
Candy, are
Cannon.
you considered a high value man?
Shouts out to Miss
I'll
Katie. I'll
be
be
by
by
myself
myself.
before. Yep, I'll be with a cheater.
Rightfully so.
They
Right here on Oprah Stedman. They
are
are
still
still together.
together.
But Oprah said she didn't want marriage. It wasn't him. But at the same time, now this is where your manhood, it got to come into play.
Okay.
If I'm with you, and I
Hmm.
think we had somebody else the other day. I'm trying to remember what couple that was that I saw. Somebody else wanted to get married. I can't remember who it was. The man wanted to get married, but
Hmm.
the lady said no. But anyway, if I'm with you in a relationship and I want to be your husband and you don't want me to be your husband, guess what? I'm sorry. I'm out. I'm out. I'm
Oh, I
not wasting
think
all my time. Who
was it
was
Holly
that?
Berry that just got proposed to?
Halle Berry and her 5 years she's been with this guy. He
Yeah.
wanted to marry
Five
her.
years? Are you sure?
I
That
thought I
long?
read 5 years. I might
Wow.
be wrong. I thought it was 5 years, but yeah.
But you gotta understand, Holly been in a lot of relationships. I think she's been married a few times also. So I think
Three
she's like
three
J Lo
times.
at this point.
But I'm about to say something I ain't got no business. Let me hit this comment. Let me hit this comment. Michael J says if a woman gives a man a pass because he has the bag, she's just as goofy as him. Because regardless if I make six figures or not, when you value yourself and you're respecting your morals, it speaks for self.
That's
Yes, that
true.
is 100% facts.
That's true.
Uh, look at Devin. Stedman is a pimp.
He is though. I see it. He's always behind Oprah, never in front, never leads her. It's just the whole body language.
I
The
got a
whole
problem with
body
it.
language he used to give just gave me a pump. For real. And
Here's a
he's not
question.
a bad looking old man. He's
Well,
actually he like so he could have gotten other women, but I just think that he just felt he had content of being in the background.
I guess I guess Oprah, and I know this was before this other situation. I guess Oprah basically avoided a Mary J. Blige type of situation with Kendu Isaacs because remember when Mary and Kendu got married, and you thought they
Uh,
had a good marriage and all of that, and then Kendu took her. I forgot she was paying him alimony,
she's
and
still paying him.
yeah, yeah,
That's why
yeah,
she was so tight on her concerts because she had to do the concerts to make money to pay him off.
yeah.
You
That's
know,
crazy.
poor Mary, but she look good
Uh,
now. She looks real good.
Monet Tejada. Monet.
Hmm.
I'm still hurt over that, but let's
Yeah.
see, Miss Tiana Brown. Well, when you talk to younger men, what value do you think they bring? That's a good question.
When you talk to younger men,
Yeah, it says, well, when you talk to younger men, what value do you think they bring? So, in other words, we're talking in the aspect of older men already being established as high value. So, when you talk to younger men or get around younger men, what type of value do younger men have, if any, do they bring? I think is what she's asking.
oh, okay, okay, that's
And
a
then it
question
looks
for
like she
you.
clarified it. It says, do you consider yourself high value to younger men?
Do you, Larry? I don't really think it's an age thing, though.
I think
I
that's for
don't.
you. I think that's a question for you. I ain't measuring my
Um,
value to any man.
honestly, I don't think it has to do with age. I mean, I've met younger men um that brought more to the table and was considered a higher value than certain men that I do know or have known previously, and even when it came to emotional intelligence, I mean, I've had a conversation with younger men before and I'm like, I would have never thought you was in your 20s. I would have never thought you was in your 30s. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't
Yeah,
think it's age things. I just think it's your experience in life, your upbringing,
yeah.
just overall. Because I was talking to my son one time and I told him, because he was like, I don't think college is for me. And I said, it's not for everybody, but I would have liked you to maybe possibly went to college for the experience, just for like certain development and networking and just kind of seeing the world a little bit, because it
Right,
develops you as part of your value. So yeah, I
right,
don't think it matters as far as your age at all.
right.
Yeah,
Miss T says Stedman is there for the benefits. He ain't going nowhere.
absolutely. And I'm trying to think, like, if I was a man and I had an opportunity to date Oprah, because Oprah is a billionaire, and I had an opportunity to date Oprah, would I mind being in the background? I think I still would have a problem with that. And this is just me. If I'm just kind of thinking, if I'm like an alpha male or a real man that would
Mhm.
consider myself high valued, I just would not fade into the background. I don't care who you are.
And then you
You
got to
know.
look at the time period that they got together because Stedman and Oprah, oh God, that's been since the 90s. I was like a teenager, like 13,
She
14
been
years
on
old.
since the beginning. Like, yeah, early
Like the
90s when
eight,
she
like
first
like
started.
maybe even late 80s, because she started in Chicago, I think, in like
Yeah.
85 with her
And they
shows.
were
Yeah.
dating then. So Katie said getting married scares me because to you really know who you're getting. Who are they really? Do you have to marry to find out? Mm. Some people do be having that mask on until they get married. I can contest to that. Older being, you have to read it because I think it's too small on my
It
phone.
says older brings pension and hugs. Younger men bring headaches and heartbreaks,
Mm.
and a lot of sex and attention is non-negotiable. So he's saying older men
I
bring
can't.
pension and hugs, younger men bring
Yeah.
headaches and heartbreaks, and a lot of sex and attention is non-negotiable.
Oh, I kind of agree to a certain extent. Because sometimes them older men can bring headaches too.
Miss T says, I think people think high value is about how much a man makes. Yes, it has
Hmm.
nothing to do with money. A high valued man can be a man about his values and what legacy he is carrying. Yes,
Yeah.
facts,
I
facts,
think with the money
absolutely.
thing, I think they have to be like financially responsible though. They can't be careless. I mean, it has to be some goals, man. I'm sorry. I can't date no broke dude.
Hey, we about to add, Lord have mercy. I'm not going to even touch that. I'm
I
not going to even
can't
touch that.
though. I can't like let me
Look,
be
look at
quiet.
your partner. Look at your partner, Joseph Bernard. Look at him. Look at him. Now. He just added a new name. He already got enough
I'm taking
names.
Oprah money. I was saying
JB, your new name, your next name is going to be Stedman Bernard. We're going to call you Stedman Bernard now. You Stedman now.
that man don't
So
have no issue in the world. He don't have
Stedman
no issue in the world.
ain't got
He
no worries
babysitting
whatsoever.
Oprah's dogs, taking them for nice long walks, drinking his coffee. He's
That's
chilling. He don't look stressed.
big chilling.
We never hear him walking out or talking to any other woman.
Big chilling. Big chilling.
He in a
So
pool house. He not even sleeping in the same room as her. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm
you're
lying.
not.
You know that
You're
man
not.
sleeping in the pool house.
You're not. You're not. He's definitely, yeah. He's chilling. He's
Uh-huh.
chilling in the pool house.
Yeah.
Miss Tiana, she says, what if a man is flashy but has no money for real? You never know. That is true. There's a lot of
No, you
stunting
could
going on.
no that I don't agree with that. You could tell if a
Don't
nigga
think
really
so?
has money or not. Yes, you can. They can't fake it too long. They could be flashy
Hmm.
all you want, but you know if a man has money or not. I need to write a book. You could tell if a man really has money or not.
You need to get the publishing thing going and get you some
Yeah.
paper because
Cause like that's all they a lot of guys, will fake it until I guess they try to make it. But you could just tell, like you could just tell. You could tell.
Miss
Like
T, Miss T
yeah.
says they do have to be financially responsible because you can make all the money in the world and still be broke because you don't know how to manage it. That is
Amen.
true. That
The
is
quicker the
true.
quicker you get it, the quicker you can lose it all.
That is absolutely
Mhm.
true. Hold up. The comments is rolling, y'all. We appreciate y'all, man. Y'all is on it
Absolutely.
tonight.
Doing
Let me
you
get
for me.
back up here. Michael J says, "Lie, shy. You definitely can date a broke dude."
You are yo, we are
Wow,
fighting. Wait till I get off this podcast, bro. We're fighting, dog.
it's on. It's
You're
on.
lying.
Miss Tiana says, "But it's an act." Joseph Bernard says, "Hell, I'm broke." Oh Lord, Miss Tiana said they can act that way around you, but go back home to a hole. That's true.
Yep.
That's true. That's true.
Yep.
So look, y'all. I appreciated, the conversation and the interaction. This show was fire. This show was fire. So,
Yes.
um,
I can't
sis,
wait till 2 weeks. And we talk about the women. Lord. I
it's
gotta really
like we say, it's
I
it's
need to
gonna
put
be
my
that
helmet
part
on for
two.
that one.
Yeah, it's gonna be the part two. But shouts out to the ladies. The ladies represented tonight. They was in the
They
chat, but the ladies
did.
brought
Thank
it.
you,
They brought it.
y'all. Y'all
They
did not
brought it.
leave me by myself. I thought I
I
really had to put on the gloves.
I was worried about sis, man, because when I was thinking about when we do this show, I said, Lord, sis gonna be swinging and fighting on her own. It's gonna be like the Royal Rumble, and the fellas are gonna jump on her, but the ladies, y'all represented tonight. So
Absolutely.
we
It's
we
because we
definitely
had
thank
high value men listening. That's why, right?
that's what it's all about.
That's
That's
what
what it's
it's
all about.
about. So they
This
didn't feel no type of way.
great conversation, and this is all we ask. So sis, I'm gonna go ahead and toss it to you, get your departing words, and we're gonna get on up out of here.
Yes. So basically, y'all, what I have to say is with the men mainly, it's all about self development. And that's what I said at the beginning of the show. No man is perfect. No woman is perfect. And I think if you just recognize some of the things you need to work on, some of your flaws, just worry about that day. Don't worry about next week or the week after. Just make yourself better as the day goes. And then you can start small. If you want to just work out for 30 minutes or, meditate for a little bit or find out how to make your credit better, like we talked about on our shows previously. It just takes the little steps, guys. But I have faith in y'all, and that's my word for the night. I love y'all. Peace.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what we're gonna do is we got a couple of topics lined up in the future.
Hmm.
Obviously, we did part one tonight. In 2 weeks, we're gonna do part two. Um, part two, and we'll flip over to the high value women. And also, we're gonna get back into some serious stuff after that. I know everybody's been seeing what's been going on with the immigration stuff and the stuff that's
Hmm.
happening in Los Angeles. So I'm thinking, I've been brainstorming, sis, and I think what we want to do is get everybody's opinion here. We have not had a formal discussion about, I hate to put the title president on it, but we got to talk about it, y'all. So that's going to be down the line. So in
Okay.
another month or so. So we're going to talk about, and this is crazy right here. Are Cubans regretting voting for Trump? And why are they looking for black folks to help them out? That's going to be after part two of this series. So the next couple of
So,
weeks.
so they want us to help now. Okay.
Yeah, because what happened in LA, I don't know if you saw, with ICE and everything that was going on in LA, they
Hmm.
the same Latinos, they was standing for the man. Now all of a sudden they want us to stand with them and help them out. So it was just a wild situation. So yeah, we're gonna get into that. We always try to, touch on everything, from
Hmm.
relationships to what's going on in the world and all of that good stuff. So
And Trump said, don't touch the ones that are working in like the warehouse or on farms or certain places, right? Now they can't, ICE can't touch certain parts and areas because I guess Trump is realizing how much impact that the immigrants actually have regarding the economy.
real quick, just to
Yeah.
kind of answer that, to tell you what I think, and we're going to definitely get into that.
Hmm.
When he ran on immigration and closing the borders and getting everybody that's illegal out of the country, everybody was all hyped up about that, but
Right.
everybody didn't realize, many of his voters, many of his base didn't realize they have businesses in which you have illegals working, so they didn't think it could happen to them. So now
Exactly.
when ICE starts grabbing them and getting them out of here, guess what? Now you're hurting the people that voted for you. So I guess it's a lot of boo-hooing and crying and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And hey, it is what it is. Miss Katie
It is.
says, I'm at ground zero of the Cuban fuck around, find out. Hey,
I like Katie. I like Katie.
that's our people. That's
I
our
like
people.
Katie.
That's definitely our people. So
But any last words from you, Larry?
yeah, I just want to just come on in here and just, like I said, thank you to everybody for taking the time
Hmm.
to rock with us, be with us and hang with us and all of that. Your participation, we appreciate your participation. And just spread the word. Spread the word,
Yeah.
share the show. I'm gonna go ahead on and put the email up again. If you have a show idea or a show topic, because this is an extension of You Talk, which is the people's show. So it ain't about
Yeah.
us. We just come up with different topics, whatever. If you have a topic you want to discuss, if you have a cause,
Hmm.
if you have something you're dealing with that you want to put on the forefront, hit one of those emails down there. Get at
Hmm.
us, and
If
we'll
you're
get in
upset
touch with you.
about something that happened during the day, go ahead and vent. Let me hear it. We want to hear
Yeah,
what you got to say.
give us
You
the
can vent to
feedback.
us. We'll
Yes,
listen.
yeah. We grown. We grown. That that
Yeah.
that that's a big girl and I'm a big boy. We can take it. So let us know,
Yeah.
what you're feeling and what you're thinking. But
We got you.
uh we got you. We definitely got you. But no, man, I just want to say thank you to everybody for the participation. Share it. And let's just help grow this thing.
Absolutely.
2 weeks will be, actually next weekend, everybody will be in the A. We gotta take care of some business in the A. The
And it's
new
gonna be my
website will
first
be
time
coming.
in the A.
It'll be your first time in
I've
the
never
A.
been. So
Oh
email me,
well,
guys. Email me some restaurants, some places to go. I think I might stay the whole weekend.
Bo
Larry. Yeah.
Bojangles.
So like email me, guys. Let me know where I need to stop past.
Bojangles.
Don't play with me. You know I don't eat meat though. I only eat seafood, vegetables, and fruit. I'm a
Oh, okay, okay.
pescatarian,
I did not know that. I did
so
not
I'm
know
not
that.
eating no Popeyes. Um, this shrimp is not real wild caught, but it
Well,
ain't.
well, me and D and Joseph Bernard will, so we gonna cover that. We gonna cover that. Marquise too. We gonna
I
cover that.
want
And
some
then
good seafood. That's what I want.
D is the plug on that. D is
Okay,
definitely be the
cool.
plug on that. We're gonna have to get with D on that. So
All right.
I see right here, Mr. Holly says I'm a vet. Appreciate that, Mr.
Oh,
Holly. You come
please
back.
do. It's okay. We're here.
We good. We good.
We
We good. We
good.
good. JB said you got that right. So we're gonna go ahead on and put a bow on this thing. And once again, we thank you for your participation. Thank you for taking your time out to rock with us. If the Lord says the same in 2 weeks, we will be back. Part
Yes.
2, high value women. 2 weeks after that, we're gonna talk about this stuff going on with the immigration stuff and the backlash with that.
Yeah.
Nothing but hot topics coming your way. So y'all have a great week. And y'all
Yes.
know how we start every show, and you know how we end every show.
Come on.
It ain't
Ain't
no
no
us.
us without you, baby. Look, I gotta get the happy you to my phone.
You do like me. Whenever my stuff goes wrong, I be telling D all the time. Look, look, you know my intention. You know what I mean. So
Then we're gonna put it together. Connect yours. Connect yours to mine, Larry.
yeah,
No, the other hand. Connect it. There we go. There we
yeah,
go.
there it is. I gotta reach across the way. So y'all get it. Y'all get
We
it.
love y'all. See y'all later.
Much love, man. Y'all have a good one. We'll see
Bye.
y'all. Peace.
Bye.
From the heart of the city to the edge of the world, telling stories of black kings and queens.
It's you
We're
talk,
building a
baby.
world. Every topic, every voice, like a new kind of pearl. Shining light on truths to make the future swirl. It's real talk, baby. Frank and Shy coming through, baby. Real topics, real stuff for the people, baby. Buckle up and let's roll with real talk, baby. It's real talk, baby. It's real talk, baby. It's real talk, baby. And it ain't no me without you, baby. It's you talk, baby, and it ain't no me without you, baby. From the heart of the city to the edge of the world.
It's you talk, baby.
Black kings and queens, but boys